Good morning, students. Welcome to the class 10th Social Science, the rise of nationalism in Europe. See, we were studying this lesson, the rise of nationalism in Europe, and I couldn't do the class for last class because of some reasons, and hope you remember the previous class which we have studied about the age of revolution 1830 to 1848. Hope you remember that. So what all happened, the conservative and liberalism and nationalism and all, you have studied in that. And what the Metternich said, if the France sneezes, the rest of Europe catches cold. Hope you remember these all. So today we are going to study about the continuity part of the rise of nationalism in Europe. So in that, the rise of nationalism in Europe, in that the very important topic we are going to study today, that is the making of Germany. The making of Germany and Italy. First we are going to study about Germany. How the making of Germany happened, who was the main person behind it, and what all things happened during that time. Today we are going to study about that. And in that, the making of Germany means nothing but the unification. So how the uniformation happened. Actually, there, can the army be the architecture of nation? That was a question in the textbook, the first line itself. Means the German army can make the nation state. The German army can make the can become a architecture. Architecture means the one who make one, the maker, the one who give the modification. So unification. So the army can become that. So that is a question arises here. See, when we study so many things, how was things was going on in the Europe, like what all happened that time. Monarchy, actually Europe means as you studied in 9th also, and now also in the previous classes, the France is the main country. What all the France faced, the whole Europe was facing. The what all the changes happened in the France, same thing was happening throughout the Europe. Because of that, the Metternich was given the statement: if the France sneezes, the whole Europe will catch the cold. So this kind of statement why he has given means just because, so what happens in the France, so it affects throughout the Europe. That was happened. A monarchical administration, the monarchical rule, again the republic rule, again constitutional monarchical rule, again republic, like that. So many things was keep on happening. So here it is, the Germany, the nationalist feelings were widespread among the middle class Germans. So all the middle class Germans were, they were feeling it was the one feeling was spreaded over the Europe. What is that? Nationalist. So nationalism. So our country should become unification. We want our independent country. We want our unification of German. That was their feelings. That was their aim. So in 1848, German attempted to unite the different region of German confederation into a nation state, but that was failed. In the 1848, what was happened, the nationalism in Europe, the moved away from its association with the democracy and revolution. The nationalist sentiments were often mobilized the conservation of promoting state power and achieving a political dominance over the emperor Europe. This was happened that time. So because of that, the nationalist feelings were widespread among the middle class people who in 1848 they tried to unite the different regions. So that time this all were happen, and that time repressed by the monarchy plus military plus junkers. So this unification should happen means not only army, not only military. We want a monarchy plus military plus junkers. What is the junkers? Junkers means they are large land owners. Junkers means large land owners. Even though they are very very powerful in the state, they are very very powerful in the society. So before unification of the country, before unification of the Germany, first all these three should get unified: the monarchy, military and junkers. Then easily we can make a unification of the German. This was the thing. And there the one who took a major step, the one who was the main person behind this, the making of Germany, that is Otto von Bismarck. Otto von Bismarck, he is the person one who made German, means one who stood behind the making of Germany. See, here it is, Otto von Bismarck, architect of the process of unification of Germany. What we call him as Bismarck? Bismarck is the architecture. He is the architect of the process of unification of the Germany. That he is the real hero behind the unification of German. So what he did, see, Prussian army and the bureaucracy helped the Bismarck to making of German, and he fought 7 years of war. 7 years of war, 3 wars, 7 years it took, and there was over 7 years of war. Of 3 war actually he did with Austria, Denmark, France, and ended in Prussia victory and Prussian victory, and completed the process of unification. So when he completed his 7 years of lengthy war, 3 wars with Austria, Denmark and France, and the Prussia got victory and end of that war. So he has completed the process of unification. This is the thing behind the German unification and the William First. So, and when he won all these 3 places and he got the victory, Prussian victory, and what he will do next? The proclamation. What is that? Proclamation means the unification of country. One should become a king. No. So proclamation ceremony should happen. Means they will celebrate the victory and the proclamation. They have to announce the king. Yes. Where it is announced, the proclamation ceremony. See, it's a very very important part where the German proclamation ceremony happened. The Hall of Mirrors in Versailles. Keep remember, Hall of Mirrors in Versailles. Where it is happened? The Hall of Mirrors in Versailles. It's a very very important question. And January 1871, the Prussian king, Kaiser, means king and Kaiser nothing but same. In German language, the king is called named as Kaiser. Means Kaiser means also king. January 1871, the Prussian king, the Kaiser William I, was proclaimed as a German emperor. German emperor. Who is the German emperor? Kaiser William I. So he was proclaimed as a German emperor in ceremony in Versailles. So after the victory of Bismarck against Austria, Denmark and France, when he got a victory, so he came to the William Kaiser William, he said, yes, we have made a unification of Germany. Now we want you to become a king of the unification of Germany. He requested them and he was invited him to come to the Versailles Hall to be, uh, to take over the charge, and they have proclaimed means nothing but announced. So in the Hall of Mirrors in Versailles they have announced Kaiser William I is the German emperor. So after that, many more changes happen in the German. The new state with the Prussian dominance, the modernized currency. So first thing they have changed currency. The modernized currency has to come. See, it's a large country now. There are many different places, many different languages are there. So everywhere there should not be a different kind of currency. So currency must be get modernized. So they have changed, they have made the modernized currency, and the banking system they have changed. So banking system means everywhere should be it's the same, and the legal system and judicial system, everything changed in Germany. Everything they have modified, everything they brought it in a very well and a proper condition. The nation building process in German had demonstrated in dominance of Prussia, the state power. The new state placed a strong emphasis to modernize the currency and banking system and the legal and judicial system in Germany. The Prussian measures and practices of often become model for the rest of German. What the Prussian, the main place of German, the Prussian, what they have followed, what they have measured, what they have practiced, that will become a model for the rest of the Germany. This is how the making of Germany happened. The making of Germany happened. So who is the behind the making of Germany? Otto Bismarck is the main person, one who made the unification of Germany, and he is also called architecture of the process of unification of Germany. Architecture of unification of Germany is also called. He is the one whom behind this the unification. After that, the proclamation ceremony happened in the Hall of Mirrors, that you have to remember, in Versailles. Who is the king become the German emperor? That is Kaiser William I. The Kaiser William I become the German emperor. So after he become an emperor, they have made a lot of changes throughout the Germany, and what all the changes happen in the Prussian dominance, in the where what all changes happened in the Prussian dominance, everything affected throughout the Germany. This is about completely the making of Germany, and the making of Italy will see in the next class. Hope you understood this, and I'll put this page as a pic. I'll take a clear pic and upload, and you can read it out, and you can read a textbook. You will understand very well. It's a very simple topic. I have taken a very short topic because if I take the making of Italy also, you will get confused. So today, very short and small, a very important topic, the making of Germany, I have taken. I'm ending with this, my last point. Otto Bismarck is a very important person behind this making of German. I'll just go through it, read it out, you will understand very well. Thank you.